What's up, everybody? Make sure I can hear me. What's up, everybody? Cool. Nailed it for once. How's it going, everybody? How y'all doing today? Hey, Aaron. I'm a no for bringing Peter back. You know, we've got 60 years of villains to choose from. I'd rather choose a villain to take Nina out that I like. You know, we could bring back Helena. We could bring back Jerry. He could try to shoot Sunny and accidentally shoot Nina, you know? It doesn't even have to even really be a villain. It could be like Sean, because he's a bad shot anyway. He could try aiming at someone he was trying to kill and ends up shooting Nina. And hey, Angel. Yeah, honestly, I'm about tired of Willow and Nina too. Like, both of them today. Got on my nerves. I'm like, man, Willow made herself look like a monster in front of her son. I mean, I get it. Like, seeing Nina right after you had a nightmare about her. Open to any villain. Nina could also just lose, you know, control of a vehicle. Man. But yeah, Nina done pissed me off. Like, assuming the worst about Michael, and you know I don't like Michael, but like assuming the worst and Sunny being like calm down and her just like jumping to the conclusion that it was all Michael's doing, that why she waited and everything, like you'd think that with the amount of times that she has inserted her foot in her mouth that she'd kind of think about it. Hey Sandy, how you doing? Oh man. But yeah, welcome to the live stream, everybody. I don't have too much of a game plan. I have some things planned, but nothing really reacts wise. Like nothing video wise, I don't think. But I thought that we got some news about the GH's 60th anniversary today. We got a brand new promo celebrating the 60th year today, which showed really just flashbacks of the last 60 years, mostly the last 2, but they had flashes of Luke and Laura and Lois and Ned, and they even had Julie Marie Berman's Lulu and Dante. They didn't show Emmy's Lulu and Dante, which I found very interesting. I mean, I guess I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but hey, I was happy to see OG Lulu in that promo. It was very blink and you miss it though. And speaking of blink and you miss it, we got a 16-second tribute to Sonia Eddy at the end of today's episode. 16 seconds for 16 years, guys. But we do have some news on a tribute episode, and we'll share that in a bit. I think we'll wait for maybe some more people to roll in, maybe if anyone joins, because when I don't have a game plan, not too many people join, and that's fine. But I'll read the article that came out earlier today. Don't get too excited about the promo. Yeah, like I do feel like GH's plan is to celebrate the 60 years for the whole year, kind of like how they did on the 50th. It probably majorly kicks off in April for the anniversary. But I think we're going to slowly lead into it the next few months. So, yeah, Nina does act like a teenager, and which is crazy because it's been like 10 years since she woke from her coma now, I think, right? Or no, maybe like 8. 2014? How long is that? 9? Almost 9 years. She should be at least the maturity of a 30-year-old. You know what I mean? By now. Because her brain didn't develop, like the rest of her body. But not Nina's fault, I guess. She was in a coma for 20 years. Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that too, Angel. We need Luke back for the 60th anniversary. It's interesting because Frank Valentini likes to keep things kind of secret. They've revealed one return that's going to be happening for the 60th anniversary, and I'll talk about that in a minute here. A fan favorite, of course, but I just know that we're gonna be in for a lot more surprises than we're gonna know about, which is good. I like that in the day of modern spoilers being leaked everywhere. Frank Valentini seems to be pretty good at keeping certain things under wrap, which is something I've always appreciated about him because spoilers are everywhere, y'all. And, when I think about, like, the Guza era, like, everything that was happening in an episode would be revealed weeks before. So nothing was really surprising, which kind of, hindered the viewership a lot. But I also, I've always tried to do my best to avoid spoilers. And the only spoilers I really pay attention to are when characters return. And like I mentioned, Frank Valentini has honestly done a pretty decent job at like keeping a lot of things under wrap. He certainly did during the 50th anniversary. Nina should have stayed in that coma. Luke and Laura should do something. I mean, they did show them in the promo. It's just it's a hard thing to deal with, I guess, because it's when it comes to Luke and Laura, because Tony's not super into celebrating them as a couple. Even Jeannie has spoken out about the couple and how, it did start with a rape in a way, and she was done justifying it because, it really made it okay. And I think obviously in the 90s they addressed it for what it was. But obviously times were different back then, and they kind of, created this big romance from a rape, which is insane. But you know, that's, I guess, really, aside from the times, that's just kind of a test to their chemistry as, you know, acting partners. But it's interesting. It makes me wonder what would have happened if social media was around back then. Like, what would people be saying? But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm trying not to keep my hopes up on Tony Geary returning. It would make sense for him to return, certainly. Especially if they're going to go all in with this Victor Cassadine story. You know, since Victor has pretty much kept everyone else alive all this time, it would make sense that Luke would also be alive somewhere. And they've done a good job at kind of not having Victor say up front that he's killed Luke. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it was a doozy of an episode today. I didn't, you know, we saw Joss and Dex talk about Oscar Day. I actually didn't mind Joss and Dex's scenes today. I mentioned it last week. I think Eda McCoy, I never know how to pronounce her name. I think she's grown as an actress. And I think today's episodes, along with Cameron's breakup a few episodes ago, really showed her growth. Like, I could really sense the pain, you know, that she was experiencing, knowing that Willow has cancer and that there's nothing that she can really do about it. But man, Sunny and Nina, they are idiots, man. Like, Sunny just assuming that Jocelyn knew. Ridiculous. Justice for AJ. Oh man. I honestly, I really enjoyed AJ's last go around. I hated that they made him a drunk again, truly. Because they seemed like in his last round when he returned in 2012 to 2014-ish era, like I feel like they did a pretty good job at like giving him a redemption story and building a relationship with his son and having him be, you know, clean and sober and taking interest in the LQ, you know, like, didn't AJ get justice? I mean, not really. He got killed by Sunny in the end. I guess Sunny went to jail for it, but not for long. Still don't understand how they made that story work, even back in the day, Luke and Laura. I mean, well, here's one reality here is we are not 80s kids, Angel. I don't know. I wasn't around in the 80s. You weren't either, I don't think. But based on what I know about the story is that for a while they rewrote the rape to call it seduction. So they were kind of back and forth on that. Like they rewrote it as a seduction instead, and saying that Laura, you know, wanted it too, and which even saying that out loud sounds horrible. Okay, sounds horrible. But there was a rewrite for a while, and then they didn't address it really again until Scott confronted Luke, and then they left it hanging again until the 90s when Elizabeth was raped, and then they brought it up with Lucky. And the show that he's on, the actor that plays AJ show that he's on, Bold and Beautiful, is that like he is the biggest character on that? Man, you know, I actually really like Sean Kanan. Kanan? Is that how do you pronounce his name? And like to this day, it shocks me to my core that Steve Burton and Sean Kanan are not related, because the casting is phenomenal. They look so much alike. And funny enough, he was a part of his family. I think they were family through marriage, but he wasn't blood related, which is funny. They never gave the AJ character a chance like Billy Warlock's did. Yeah, AJ was written horribly with Billy under the role. I mean, Sean was AJ, you know, I don't want to say original AJ because there was obviously kids that played them before, but like original adult AJ, or even then, I don't know if he was the original adult. I think we had one more actor just before Sean Kanan. That was like late teenage AJ. Original AJ didn't look... Well, who are you referring to as the original AJ, though? Because Billy Warlock was AJ after Sean Kanan. And Billy Warlock looked absolutely nothing like Jason, of course. He didn't even look anything like AJ. Like, they didn't even try to make him look alike. But Sean Kanan's AJ... Tell me that they made Monica lose AJ all over again. Yeah, no kidding, Edmund. Ugh, bothered me. Okay, well, since more people are here, I thought we'd start the stream. Oh, the one that they put in from 91 to 92. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that actor's name, but yeah, you're right. That one did not look like him. And then they casted Sean. But yeah, I wanted to start off the stream kind of reading an article about the plans for the 60th anniversary year. I'm reading the one from TV Insider. So let's start with it. So the article reads, after hitting its 15,000th episode in 2022, General Hospital reaches another major milestone in 2023. The soap opera celebrates 60 years on air in April, and ABC has just announced plans to commemorate the special occasion. The General Hospital 60th anniversary is Saturday, April 1st, but the celebrations will begin a month earlier in March with a tribute episode to the late Sonia Eddy, who played Nurse Epiphany Johnson from 2006 to 2022. Eddy died on December 19th at the age of 55. To honor the veteran cast member, General Hospital will air an episode dedicated to her in late March. So there is, in fact, a confirmed tribute episode for Sonia Eddy. Thank God. Because I don't know if y'all saw the 16-second tribute to her at the end of today's episode, but I was like, surely there's gonna be more. But I think they probably just made that because they were not working when Sonia passed, and so I think the second they got back to work, which was in January, they got to making like a quick tribute for the actress, and then we'll see the full tribute episode in March. That is awesome news. Yeah, I'm stoked for it, Edmund. I'm super stoked. To continue the article, it says the anniversary celebrations kick off in earnest on Monday, April 3rd, with the return of the beloved General Hospital Nurses Ball. So, again, confirmed, Nurses Ball is returning for 2023, and I'm sure they'll tribute Sonia in there too, because you can't, she's been a staple of the Nurses Ball since they brought it back in 2013, so I'm sure they'll tribute her there too. They explain what it is. It is a fictional, glamorous charity event complete with red carpet, fashion, and musical performances from the illustrious citizens of Port Charles dedicated to HIV and AIDS awareness. This marks the first time the event has aired since 2020. Following the ball's return, celebratory festivities will continue as icons of Port Charles unite to stop a legendary threat from the past, which I'm assuming is Victor Cassadine. Jane Elliott will reprise her role as Tracy Quartermain in April as an added treat for fans. So, confirmed, we at least know that Tracy is coming back to deal with Victor as well. Finally, we get to see Felix. Yeah, I'm stoked. And all the nurses that we only see during the Nurses Ball. The ABC daytime soap opera has tracked the ongoing lives of the diverse and evolving citizens of Port Charles, New York, for decades. The series delivers the romance and high-flying adventures for which soap operas are known, but ABC says GH sets itself apart by regularly capitalizing on its setting to present stories that speak to and enrich viewers' lived lived experiences around the country. Yeah, Jane Elliott. Yeah, she is confirmed to be coming back. General Hospital won 5 Daytime Emmy Awards in 2022, including the Outstanding Drama Series, marking the show's 15th and record-setting win in that category. So no other soap has won the Outstanding Daytime Drama Series more than GH, which is crazy. Yes, bring back Felix. Maybe he can take Elizabeth's place if she gets arrested. I mean, I don't think... If Elizabeth does get arrested, I think she's not going to be in jail for very long, or she's going to get out of it somehow. It's Elizabeth. You know what I mean? Does feel like he does comedy. What they call... Oh, actor plays in the stand-up now. That actually does Felix in LA. Oh, good for well, what's his name in real life? It's Marcus, right? Love me some Tracy. So do I. I'm always excited to see Tracy. I freaking adore Jane Elliott. And one thing that I do always give Frank Valentini and the writers credit for, because there's not a whole lot of characters that get written better, or that have been written better since Frank's been on the show. But Jane Elliott, Tracy Quartermain, she got like the best writing under that whole situation. They really had the character grow and become kind of, in her own way, a bit of like the matriarch of the Quartermains and GH. And then Jeannie kind of stepped up and became that as well. And now I feel like Jeannie is the matriarch of the show. I'd love to see Felix and Brad take a stab at love. That could be interesting. I just think back to like when it was like Brad, Felix, and Lucas, and weren't they like trying out like a threesome, like polyamorous thing, and then they realized it wasn't for them. Okay. Oh, there's more to the article. Marcus Coloma will not be returning as Prince Nicholas Cassadine. He took over the role from Nick Staple in 2019 and could not complete filming his final scenes due to health concerns related to COVID-19. General Hospital was created by husband and wife soap writers Frank and Doris Hersley. Frank Valentini serves as executive producer and showrunner today. Chris Van Etten and Dan O'Connor are co-head writers. The series is produced by ABC. Rather see Lucas and Felix? Yeah, Lucas and Felix might be a better fit. But I do want Brad to find happiness too. You know. But Brad's going to be kind of moping his or sort of trying to heal his broken heart from losing his BFF. Oh, man. But I do hope he finds a new BFF in Maxie, though. But yeah, that was the article. One other thing I wanted to share, in case you guys didn't see it, and I actually posted this on my community page as well, but Kimberly McCullough, Kent and Monet, who played Robin, Lainey, and Kelly on GH, reunited in honor of Sonia Eddy. They had a kind of girls' day together and went to the beach and painted rocks, in tribute to her, which I think I can show you because I'm just on the page now. Let me shrink me down a little bit for now. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, Kimmy says, a break in the rain and a gorgeous sunset for our beloved Sonia Eddy. Grateful we had some time to celebrate her and the friendship we shared. Brad can find someone else. There's got to be more gay men in Port Charles. Oh, there is for sure. We just don't see any of them, Yeah. I'm so glad that the Girls' Night Out girls reunited for this. I do hope that when they do the tribute episode for Sonia, that they bring back a lot of characters throughout her tenure. Yeah, exactly, Jake. I really want to see them back for the actual tribute episode. There's the rock that they painted with Sonia's name and sunshine on it. But yeah, I'd love to see them back on the show for a little bit too. Even Patrick, you know, like Patrick and Robin, I feel like Epiphany was such a big part of their story too. You know, especially like the back and forth that they went through just to get together. Epiphany was always stuck in the middle a lot of the times, whether it was when they were cleaning, you know, kissing in the supply closet, or, you know, doing more in the supply closet, or just driving the staff of the hospital crazy. And Sonia was always calling them out. And I really loved the relationship between Patrick and Epiphany as well. So I know it doesn't happen too often in daytime, because obviously there's contracts involved and stuff, but I really hope that the other networks are willing to give some of the actors that are from GH that are currently on those networks leeway to come back to the show, at least to pay tribute for her, because they did that with Anna Lee. A lot of people came back despite the other shows that they were a part of, to pay tribute to the actress, and I hope that they get to do the same for Sonia, or that they allow it in some way. So those characters coming on the 50th anniversary, and all my children character. Well, I don't really want to see other soap characters on GH. That was my big problem with the first half of the 50th anniversary, because I had all those One Life to Live characters on there, and honestly, I was so glad that they were sued in time for the Nurses Ball and the actual anniversary, that they couldn't have them on there or even mention their names anymore. It was a little bit weird to see Michael break up with his off-screen girlfriend that was no longer named at the Nurses Ball that year. I'm hoping that zero characters from other shows come on. Unnecessary. I just want characters from GH that knew Epiphany on for the tribute. And I don't want to see GH bringing on any other characters from other shows for the 50th anniversary. 60th anniversary. But yeah, that was like kind of my the only things I really had like prepared for this stream. Beyond that, we can just chit chat about GH for a little while. I am so excited for Jane Elliott though. Oh man. Do you think Steve Burton would come back to pay tribute to Sonia? I think that he would. I think that he would. If the network allows him to do that, which is hard to say. I mean, I know that they do that with Ned, but he's recurring on both, so he's not really on contract. Steve is, so I think there's probably some legalities in there that potentially could sort of, get rid of that. Although it would, but given the state of the character, I don't know. That would be a tricky one. It would be a tricky one because Jason's dead. But if they found a way, I think that he would, because he seemed to adore Sonia, and Steve did his own tribute to Sonia on his channel, which we watched the other day. 60th anniversary should be all about GH. Exactly. I love that the promo that they showed, and I part of me wants to watch this promo, but I don't know if it would get dinged on here, so I'll hold off. But we got to see all the past big celebrities that have been on GH over the years. They showed Demi Moore, they showed John Stamos, they showed Rick Springfield, obviously, Emma Samms, some of the talk show hosts that appeared at the Nurses Ball over the years, and of course the dude from the sports channel that's Brick now on the show. They didn't show James Franco, weirdly enough. But they also showed Elizabeth Taylor, the legend herself, in that promo. How would Steve pay tribute to Sonia? Jason is presumed dead. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, as soon as I started saying that, I was like, wait, well, Jason is dead, so who knows? Oh, but I did see somewhere else, and I'm going to try to find this article. They mentioned that the show, or I mean Prospect Parks, the studio where they shoot the show, they're doing a bit of a commemorative thing at Prospect Studios on April 1st, which is a Saturday. Where did I see that? Okay, yeah. So to commemorate General Hospital's 60th anniversary, the network is set to present the cast and crew with something that will forever cement the series' legacy and impact. For 60 years, the series has been filmed on the Prospect Studios lot in Los Angeles. That is not true. They did shoot in another lot before Prospect Studios. Just throwing that out there. But for the most part, they've been on Prospect Studios. And this year, the stage will be dedicated in honor of... the stage will be dedicated in honor of General Hospital as a reminder of the history that has been made in that very spot. So yeah, they are doing... they're doing something on the lot of the studios. And perhaps, the actors will all make an appearance there to show up, to celebrate the legacy. Even if they don't appear on the show. We don't see, yeah, I know. We don't need to see James Franco. He is too problematic these days. And I will forever not forgive him for ruining the original Valentine Cassadine story. My hatred for Franco, the character, runs far deeper than Roger Hauer's version of him, so... He pushed out the original epic Valentine Cassadine story that almost was... Oh, on another note, we saw a new part of the Quartermaine Mansion today. I don't even know what to call that room. Just like the piano room, the keyboard room. Nice set, kind of small, but it looked like a really nice part of the house. I'm just glad that they are actually like taking the time to make more of the Quartermaine Mansion, because for the longest time we only ever seen like the den and the hallway where the staircase was. And I mean, obviously, back in the day, we saw like the guest house, which they brought back for Michael and Willow. So it was nice to see that again. And then also, now we see the kitchen of the Quartermaine Mansion. We see the stables of the Quartermaine Mansion. Of course, the beach houses or the beach hut is still there. Or, the boathouse. So it does make... It's funny. I feel like the Quartermaine Mansion now has more sets than Windermere does. And Windermere is supposed to be a freaking castle. We only ever see, like, the front entrance, the first room, and then, perhaps the bedroom. And then whatever tower Esme's locked up in, and then the parapet. It's weird to think that, like, Windermere had a whole ballroom in it. And anytime we've seen, like, characters, like, have a party on the show now, or, like, get married or whatever, they have it in the living room. And I'm like, y'all had a whole ass ballroom at one point. Leo told Cody he was happy BLQ and Chase broke up. I think the exact quote was that he's glad that Brooklyn and Chase aren't gonna kiss anymore. Oh man. But hey, good news! If they're bringing back the nurses' ball, that means Lucy's got to come back before April, so that's a good thing. I just realized that. I think today also showed a shift in that they might actually try to do something with Chase and Sasha. You know, he was working out in the yoga room, and both Gladys and Sasha were kind of eyeing that body. Not that anyone could blame them, but like, you know, Sasha showing up in his life, and they're getting more scenes together. Angel, I think you're a little bit behind on the stream. We were just talking about that. Let's see. I'm trying to find more interesting tidbits on the 60th anniversary plans, but I'm not seeing anything else, I don't think. It's very in character of Frank Valentini to keep things under wraps. Gladys is going to blow Sasha's money if Sasha don't regain control. I mean, today's show made it seem like she already has blown through it because, like, clearly she's trying to sell the garage to whatever bidder, you know, as fast as she can, Gladys. And it's probably because she owes that money to the gambling crew at the Savoy. And Selena Wu, of course. I don't think Gladys is going to like Sasha going out with Chase. Yeah, I think the first guy that Sasha ends up with, obviously Gladys is not going to be too happy about. That being said, I do think that, like, eventually Gladys will accept a new guy in her life, because I think at the end of the day, she knows that Brando would want Sasha to find happiness again someday, but maybe not this soon, you know? Gladys is nothing but trouble. Ain't that the truth? Sasha needs to be single right for real. Yeah, she really does. I mean, I just... GH has a tendency to put grieving widows with people really soon after the fact, which I don't like. I've never liked. You know, Maxie loses Nathan. Peter was pretty much right there from the jump. And then, you know, Maxie finally gets rid of Peter in her life and Austin is right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like... it's too close together. Who won the Willow's reaction conflict? Man, you know, in my opinion, I feel like Willow did not do herself any favors at the end of today's episode, because Wiley genuinely looked terrified of his mother in that moment. Absolutely terrified. Then, of course, she collapsed. On another note, I am glad that that Drew really let Carly have it over the lie. Are you a fan of the credit? You're asking if I'm a fan of the nurse's ball. The red carpet doesn't make sense, and the performances make me cringe. I am not a fan of the red carpet. Performances, it depends on the performance, honestly. I really like when like the talent that GH has gets showcased when they actually have it. you know, like when Wally Kurth performs, because we know that he is a singer in real life. When Cameron performs, hey Laura, when Cameron performs, we know that William Lipton is a singer in real life. But they have a tendency to have people that are very much obviously not singers on the show and have them sing, because they will auto-tune them to the point where it's ridiculous. Like, and it's very noticeable. And even when they can sing, they tend to give people that sing songs that are out of their range. God bless Sonia Eddy and may she rest. But they had her sing, I forget what song one year, and it was so very obviously out of her range, and the auto tuning made her sound like a chipmunk, and I was like, that's just what an awful way to do her like that, you know what I mean? Like, have Sonia sing in her range. Do not try to do something you can't, or at least transpose the karaoke music down a couple of tones so she can hit the notes without it being, you know, sort of messed with. Brooklyn and Chase is horrible. She's a beauty. Do you mean adorable? Like, because you're like complimenting Brooklyn, but saying they're horrible? I don't know. I liked Brooklyn and Chase for a while. I really did. I was rooting for them, but they just took so long to get anywhere. And then they just, as soon as they kind of got somewhere, they just pulled back. So I'm kind of over like the back and forth of it. And yeah, Aaron, I understand her reaction too. Truly, I do. Especially after that nightmare. I just, you know, it just didn't do Willow any favors, is all I'm saying. Especially with Wiley. Because now, if Wiley wasn't scared before, he certainly is now. And then he's also seen her collapse. And now Grandpa Sonny and Grandma Nina have to watch Wiley themselves, which, oh my god. Yes, I feel like Drew's reaction was the right one, especially after Oscar. It's personal for Drew. It is personal, but at the same time, you know, like, he said it himself, like, he trusted Carly, and she was lying to him the entire time. And yeah, I think he understands her intentions, but in some ways anyway, but I think he had it right that in some ways Carly was trying to stick it to Nina a little bit. I think most of her intentions did actually stem from not wanting to put Willow through that, but there was definitely vengeance on Nina there. And, you know, the second that Nina finds out about Willow being her daughter, like, that is another secret that Carly has kept about her kid, because she kept Nell being her kid a secret too, and now she's done the same about Willow. And Nina's gonna be furious. I mean, I think, you know, I'm not team Nina for a lot of things, but I do want to see Nina rip Carly to shreds over that, because, you know, one kid is one thing, both kids, you know, oof. As a parent, you know, she's got every right to come after Carly with both hands swinging. Not that I'm team Nina, but Carly would deserve it in that instance. But yeah, also, shout out to the writers for actually not drawing this storyline out for long. I was actually shocked that we were going to see the truth this week come out against Carly, and obviously everything's about to hit the fan too, because Carly knows, Sonny knows, Nina knows, Jocelyn knows, Dex, and not that it matters if Dex knows, but he knows as well. And then I'm sure in the next little bit, the Quartermains are also going to all find out too, the rest of the Qs. And, you know, I think in the promo for like the week long promo, we seen Carly go to Sonny and Nina at the chapel at GH. So I think that Carly is gonna tell Nina the truth this week, if not early next week. I just want Nina to go away by any means necessary. Team Carly. Hey, listen, I get it. I get it. I have no use for Nina overall. I just think that in this instance, she kind of has the right to go after Carly. I'm trying to be unbiased, all right? She does have a good reason. But should she meet her end after that, then it's fair game. But yeah, I honestly, I always question like the thought process of some writers when it comes to writing certain characters, because it's like if they're putting Nina with Sunny, they want us to like her. You know what I mean? Like they want us to like her, and it seems like they are doing everything in their power to make us not like her, because she acts like such a raging biatch when it comes to Michael and Willow. And, you know, she's always jumping to conclusions, which is getting her in trouble. She's always assuming the worst and, you know, putting her foot in her mouth. So I don't know. I do not understand the writers on that front. Team Carly. All right. Coretta, you said, I missed the way they used to start off the Nurses Ball by showing the citizens getting ready to leave. Yeah, I missed that too. Man, part of me would love to react to the original Nurses Ball episodes, but they're all so riddled with copyrighted music that I can't. Like, I can't. We'd have to mute half of it. But yeah, I love that. The beginnings of the Nurses Ball, we always seen them getting, like, their clothes on at their houses and, you know, getting all dolled up in front of their mirrors. And that, to me, makes more sense because they, you know, they have this red carpet situation and they have, like, actual entertainment show people, like, introducing the people of Port Charles as if they're celebrities. And it's, like, it's so stupid. Like, who cares? And, like, some of the things that they say, like, they're like, oh, super spy Anna Devane. Like, if she's a super spy, like, no one's supposed to know that. Because super spy. And then, like, you know, big time Nurse Epiphany Johnson or Nurse Bobby Spencer, Nurse Elizabeth Weber, and, you know, like, acting like these are celebrities. These are nurses. The only time it makes sense is when there's, like, you know, powerful people in terms of Port Charles on the red carpet. So, like, you know, when the mayor makes an appearance of Port Charles, or like a big businessman like Jax, or like, you know, Brenda, who's a model, or, you know, people like that. That makes sense. But the Nurses Ball is not renowned enough to get a televised red carpet thing. And the fact that it's on TV, I mean, I guess it makes sense that it's on TV, as long as it's not, like, national events. Like, they should be on some, like, generic Port Charles channel. Angel, you said you want to see Cam find out that Joss and Dexter are sleeping together. Oh, that's going to happen for sure, 100%. I never liked Nina since the character came on the show. Yeah, I didn't either. Like, part of it was that there was a time, like, when Nina first came on and they started, like, I mean, obviously she was crazy, and that was the thing. But once that storyline kind of wrapped up and they put her with Franco, there was this weird era where it was like this certain group of characters would all interact with each other but not interact with anyone else on the show. And it struck me as these characters don't really have a true place in Port Charles because they can't even interact with, you know, anyone that's stable on the show. That's what happens when you got all new characters and they're taking over the screen time. Never like nosy, needy, nasty Nina. Yeah, listen, I don't like her either. I'm not, I'm not defending Nina. I don't like her, but I'm just saying, like, let her attack Carly, because Carly kind of deserves that. Oh man, I was gonna show you guys. I got a Christmas card today from a band called FKB. They're a local Edmonton band, but I think they're out in Tennessee right now, actually. And they wrote me a Christmas card. It's a bit late, but that's okay. Better late than never. And they were just really sweet. They wrote like a personal message for me and everything, which was, made me all teary. Dark Cam, maybe. Dark Cam for sure, 100%. No, I don't want the writer of All My Children back. I think obviously the writing could be better on GH, but I think that could be said for the majority of the shows. You know what I mean? Realistically, I would like to see I suppose Chris and Dan they're younger than like the average writers that have been on the show for over the years. But I don't know. I just feel like they need to stop playing musical writers on soap operas in America, because it just inevitably they always hit the ground running, but it always fizzles a little bit. So I think fresh blood on the behind the scenes aspects of the show would really do the show some good. Any soap opera really. But yeah, Dark Cam, I'm so here for Dark Cam. We need it. We need a Dark Cam era. And I think William Lipton could pull it off if they let him. Give the boy a challenge, Now that Spencer is living with Sunny, he'll eventually find out that Dex and Jocelyn have been in a relationship behind Cam's back. Well, I mean, Sunny doesn't even know that yet, but I mean, I'm sure it'll catch on a little bit. General Hospital podcast from Canada. I am also in Canada. Who is in the rating? I mean, and if you're talking about the writing, I have no suggestions. Truly, because I don't know any writers personally, and I think there are shows that I watch that have really good writing, but I don't pay attention much to the writers of other shows. It's interesting because with a soap opera, you're watching that shit 5 days a week, and they have to keep up with that somehow. Hope this spells the end of Drew and Carly. I don't see the chemistry. I don't see it being the end for them. It's certainly a fork in the road, or a bump in the road. But I think, judging the fact that they had their own location shoot on the beach, I think the writers are too invested to back out on them. And I don't hate them as a couple either necessarily. I just think overall they're not for me, and that's I'm sure that they have their fan base. But yeah, the couples that I am a fan of right now, Spencer and Trina, I'm rooting for. And there's couples that I love that I know that aren't going anywhere, like Mac and Felicia. I love them. Molly and TJ, I love them. We need to give Christina a new relationship, though. Laura, you said, I hope Jocelyn's being careful with Dex. She's already been with him more than she's been with Cam. I think GH has the whole pregnancy as a whole plot thing. They seem to have an obsession with pregnancies. I don't think we've gotten away with a year without a pregnancy of some sort in the last like 10 years. It seems like they always write a pregnancy onto the show every year, and usually it's 2, and usually they're about to give birth at the same time, and there's a baby swap in some way. And even with Willow and Esme now, you know something's coming with that. Ain't no way they're the same time frame of pregnancy, and they're not gonna have a switch of some sort. How could Drew forgive Carly? Like, that's a huge lie. Because Drew's not the brightest bulb on the planet, really. New relationship, they need to give Christina a plot. Yeah, it's true. It's crazy because, like, Lexi Ainsworth is so freaking talented. In my opinion, like, in terms of, like, Sunny's Children, the best actress. Bar none. And she's been bringing her A game to it since she was, teenage Christina back in like 2009 when they brought her on. Yes, Trina and Spencer. Yeah, I'm here for it. I love that Sprina kind of had a prominent role in the promo as well. Not just like showing them, but like in the promo they show tweets from people for General Hospital. And you could see the hashtag Sprina in there a couple of times. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson and Jason's sister? I'm confused. What are you talking about, Kaiwan? Yeah, me too, Angel. I am tired of pregnancies and babies on the show. I don't want any more babies. We're good. We've had so many in the last like 8 years. We need a break from babies. It's a silly plot point anyway. We never see the babies anyway. Yeah, it really is repetitive and tired. Especially on this show. I don't know why they're so obsessed with having characters be pregnant on the show. It's insane to me. Sorry, I was on Soap Central. I kind of zoned out there. Someone was there's a topic in on Soap Central where they're talking about like whether or not they were gonna pay tribute to Sonia. I think now that the news is out, it doesn't really matter. But there was someone in there that was like, I think that it's ridiculously too late to acknowledge her death, and I'm like, buddy, they shoot the show 2 months in advance, and she died 2 weeks ago. Like, it's not, you know, because they were like, that's my opinion, and others have theirs. I'm like, it's not a matter of opinion, it's just common sense. How are they supposed to write her death onto the show, like, now, when she just, and have it air, like, now, when she just died? Like, people are special, y'all. People are special. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's okay, Nathan. We're just hanging out today, so, you know, we talked about GH's plans for the 60th anniversary. Just to catch you up to speed, GH has announced that they are doing a tribute episode for Sonia Eddy in March. They are bringing back the Nurses Ball for 2023 on the anniversary of the show. And one returning character that'll return around the anniversary is Jane Elliott's Tracy Quartermain. So we discussed that a little bit. And then we've just been pretty much hanging out since then, so. Oh yeah, Laura, I forgot that you weren't here at the beginning of the stream either. No, they are in fact doing a tribute episode for her in March, like an actual tribute to the actress and the character. So they've confirmed that. They showed a little bit of a little montage at the end of today's episode. And I think that really had to do with the fact that they just got back to work, because the show's been dark for the holiday season in terms of shooting it. But yeah, I think that's why it took so long to get like a little tribute at the end of the episode, because they just weren't in studio. So I think the second they return, they put that in there. But yeah, no, we're getting an actual episode tribute for Sonia Eddy and Epiphany. Why did Spencer say he could possibly be the father of Esme's baby to Esme to see if she's faking? I think so, because like there's literally no reality in which Spencer could actually be the father of her baby. I mean, hell, like Esme's whole thing was like, I haven't had sex with Spencer in months. And that's how Nick ended up in bed with her pretty much, right? Heard about Tracy's return to the show, which didn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing was, because obviously, even in the articles that they talk about, they address like the big story with the veterans is, you know, involves a villain from, you know, Decades Long, which is obviously Victor, and, you know, they can't finish the story off without having Tracy involved in some way, so she'll be back for that. Whether or not Tony will be back remains to be seen. But as I've mentioned, you know, in this live stream a lot, Frank Valentini does a fantastic, I don't know how he does it, but he does a great job at keeping things that he doesn't want revealed under wraps. So, you know, well, I feel like there's going to be far more than what we already know. Although, I feel like in some ways it's probably not going to be as exciting for the 60th anniversary as it is for the 50th, as it was for the 50th, because we got back so many characters that are still on the canvas today during the 50th anniversary. You know, we got Felicia back, we got Anna back, we got Robert back, we got you know, Laura back, and all these characters that had been gone for all that time were brought back, and a lot of them stayed around. So now it's kind of like, who could they bring back at this point that would still have, you know, the same amount of fanfare? Because, you know, in terms of like the characters that people remember that were, you know, in the show's glory days, think of the 80s cast. You think of like, you know, Anna and Robert, who are both on the show. Duke, they killed him off. They can't really bring him back for more than maybe a ghost appearance. Felicia, who's there. Frisco, we'll see, you know. I'd like to see him back at least for a little bit. Who did I miss out? Holly. We know that Holly has to come back at some point too. And they showed her like 3 different times in the promo as well. Old and new footage of her. Well, not new footage, just like old and 2022 footage of her. Do you think they're bringing back Lulu or Lucky? I'd love to see them back. They have to get Lulu out of the coma at some point, you know? Lucky, who knows? I think that he'd come off for like a guest appearance. I don't think he'd come back to the show full time. But it wouldn't surprise me, given that, I mean, first of all, Luke is dead. And Ethan has been kidnapped. And I think that Lucky would want to save them both. So it would make sense for him to come back to the show. Did we ever find out what that drug that Holly had Selena Wu give Victor do? No, because it hasn't done anything yet. I don't understand. Truly, I do not understand. Coretta, you said I like Joss and Dex. I want to like them. I really want to, because Dex is gorgeous, and I love that Jocelyn and Eden McCoy has grown as an actress. But I don't know. I'm just so upset for Cam. And I didn't even like Cameron and Joss either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not upset because I like the couple. I'm just upset because I feel Cameron just deserved better than what he got. We need a Lucky and a Lulu. Anybody for Lulu. Yeah, you know, and they do need to bring her back. And I wouldn't mind a recast. Listen. I don't want Emmy back, and I know she has her fans, and I'm just not one of them, and that's that on that. I'll leave it at that. I'd love to see Julie back in the role, but she does seem to be enjoying like her family life. Although I was excited to see Julie's Lulu in the promo today, and not Emmy's Lulu when it came to Lante. They had Lulu and Dante's shower scenes from I think those scenes were from the water pathogen storyline. I think they could get Dex to strip like Magic Milo. Oh, you know that they will. You know that they will. They are going to utilize, Evan Hoffer's body for that nurse's ball. In some way. And Jocelyn's going to enjoy it. Of course. Ms. Wu hasn't given the drug yet to anyone. No, did we not see that she poured it into his drink? Because she watched him drink it. There was a whole scene of him like drinking the drink and her watching him drink. Because I'm pretty sure Holly told Selena to put it in his drink right away. John Stamos to come back. I mean, I'd love for John Stamos to come back to the show. They showed him in the promo as well. Is it Stamos or Stamos? What am I saying? Yeah, she gave him the drug. Yeah, exactly. We seen her give the drug to him. Or slip it in his drink because she bought him that drink. And then just kind of like, did that. She gave him the drug. He didn't finish it. He got interrupted by the call. But he drank half. Well, even half should have done something. You know what I mean? Oh, Lord. But yeah, I'd love Blackie to come back. Because they've often teased it, too. Like, in the 50th anniversary, they mentioned, I think the Nurses Ball the year after the 50th anniversary mentioned that Blackie was supposed to be on stage, and then he had to cancel. Man, imagine if they somehow managed to get Demi Moore back onto the show. It won't happen, but like, I'm glad that they showed her in the promo as well. I'd love to see Ricky Martin back on the show. I don't know if he'd necessarily do it. But they might, if they're going to do a Nurses Ball and they're going to be celebrating the 60th anniversary, having Blackie and Miguel be part of the acts would be so cool. Do you think it's just going to be Rick Springfield again? I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if they bring him back for the Nurses Ball again. But they can't. I hope that the writers don't try to make the 60th anniversary too similar to the 50th, because the 50th anniversary also was celebrated with the Nurses Ball. That was kind of like the 50th anniversary episode that followed, I think, the actual anniversary episode where they showed... What did they show on the 50th anniversary episode? They showed Patrick giving the tour of GH to a bunch of new interns at GH with Epiphany. They showed Luke and Laura and Ethan dealing with Helena. They showed Tracy and Monica getting haunted by ghosts. Yeah. And then I think the Nurses Ball followed the next day or the day after. But yeah, if they bring back Rick Springfield, I don't know. I suppose they could have him be like Eli Love. You know what I mean? Because he did play a character that was a musician that wasn't Rick Springfield, and it was so camp because they had him return as Noah for the 50th anniversary, but they also had Rick Springfield performing Jesse's Girl, and like Noah kind of left the room and then came back at the end of the performance, and I think it was Bobby that was like, I never noticed before, but you look just like Rick Springfield. It was so corny. Was Blackie related to anyone on the show? I don't think so. From the only things I've seen of him, apart from like him performing as Blackie in the Riff Raff, he seemed to have a really good relationship with Luke and with Leslie and Rick Weber. Let me see. Let's go to the GH Wikipedia. Blackie Parish. Let's see. Okay, so Albert Blackie Parish, his real name is Albert, was a fictional character on General Hospital. He was the foster child of Rick and Leslie Weber, sorry. Would any villains come back for the 60th anniversary special? I hope so. I would like to see John Stamos. Sorry, I have him right in front of me here. I'd love to see Jerry Jacks. I'd love to see Helena back in some kind of capacity, even if it is a ghost or another videotape or whatever. Faison's dead and his brain is in a jar, but I suppose he could haunt Liesel. Since both of his kids are gone and he's gone. Or all three of his kids are gone. else could come back villain-wise? They could bring Nell back. Do we want any mob villains to return? Like, do we want like some of Sunny's old enemies? Because he's had plenty. I don't want to see Frank Smith again. They brought him back and killed him off again for like the 55th anniversary of the show or something like that. But like Sunny's had enemies like the Alcazars, the Zakaras, you know, Faith Roscoe. I'd love to see Faith Roscoe back as a villain if we're doing like mob villains. Manny Ruiz, even though he's dead. But it would be weird to bring back Manny Ruiz because he was really more so Jason's enemy than Sunny's. Or just Jason dealt with him the most. But we know that he had a twin brother who's alive and was a priest. He could go evil and play a villain. Alright. Okay, so his last appearance was... sorry, we're back to Blackie. His last appearance was April 5th, 1984. The reason why he left was that he went to prison for the manslaughter of Lou Swenson. I'm assuming he's out now. If they've been mentioning him being a performer and everything. Let's see. It doesn't really show much of his family. Relationships. Unknown biological mother that's deceased. Rick and Leslie Weber because of what do you call it? Because of the foster situation. I'll take Nell over Nina. Oh, you were sad Liesel didn't do another Krampus reading this year. That was funny. Let's bring back some of Sunny's bad guys. That could be interesting. Yeah, but you know what? Selena's doing a wonderful job at running circles around Sunny. Blackie had a relationship with Laura Templeton, which was Demi Moore's character, I believe. Or no. Jackie Templeton was Demi Moore's character. Laura Templeton was her sister. He also had a romance with Steffi Brand and was in a relationship with Lou Swenson. And, well, whoever Lou Swenson is, he killed, so... The direction of GH has been off this week. I don't know. It's the start of the year. I don't hate this week so far. I think that, you know, I think they're trying to finish off the rest of the stories that kind of were in the middle of last year. Because they are moving along the Nina thing quite quickly. I thought that we were going to see that play out for a while. Oh, Blackie was only in jail for 2 years for the manslaughter. Man. But yeah, I'd love to see Blackie in the Riff Raff, or, you know, perform at the Nurses Ball. But do we think that John Stamos would do it? That's what I have doubts on. You know, most people that get their starts on a soap opera, they don't mention the soap opera ever again. Too famous to be appearing on soaps. Alright, y'all. But I'm gonna end this live stream soon. Is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss before we go, though? Because I've got nothing left to really give here. I'm not gonna lie. Those dreams Willow had about Nina, like I expected them to get trippy. Like Rebuild the Genetic Opera Surgery. Oh, I love that movie. Oh my god, Laura, I'm surprised you know that movie. Wonder if she had dreams because she heard her downstairs. Maybe. Maybe. Somebody will pull a James Franco. Yeah, see you Sunday, Kaiwan. Thanks for joining in. I loved Repo the Genetic Soap Opera, or the Genetic Opera. Weird that Paris Hilton was in it and actually wasn't that bad. But I loved that musical. I like that song that was, what was it called? Zydrate Anatomy. No, I just mean it. Age is not a part of it. It's just like it's such. I feel like so like there's very little people that know about that movie. You know what I mean? Because it's such a like cult sort of. You know, it wasn't huge. But I enjoyed that movie thoroughly, and I think that the aesthetics and the special effects and you know the story and the fact that it was a musical, like it was really good. It was really, really good. All right, y'all. But yeah, I think I'll end the live stream here. It's been a good chit chat. At some point, I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do with Wednesdays this year because, yeah, we can react to videos sometimes, but it's just we got through the majority of the good stuff that we can find, and a lot of the other good stuff kind of fell by the wayside or got deleted with other YouTube channels. The soundtrack is in my car. I love obscure stuff. Yeah, it's always nice when like things just feel like they're exclusively yours to like enjoy. Dream well. All great to catch you. Good night. All right, yeah. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, do what Sandy says, y'all. Thank you for watching the live stream tonight. Thanks for joining me and hanging out and talking about GH's future plans and you know our bits and pieces of thoughts of what we thought about GH this week. Of course, Sunday we will recap everything. But for now, if you like this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you guys this Sunday for an all-new General Hospital after show. Peace out. Mwah! Later.